Have you ever wondered what the number one relationship killer is? Yes, I am going to explain that in this video with the help of the master gurus of relationship, John and Julie Gottman. They are going to act out a slight skit, and then we're going to analyze it, and we are going to come up with the number one relationship killer. But not only identify that number one relationship killer, we are going to speak about how to avoid it, and how, if you've committed that crime, how to probably get back in the good books of your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or your partner, or your spouse. Let's look at this little skit that they played out and analyze it and come to some conclusions.
John, your iWatch is driving me crazy, man. Every time we try to have a conversation,
it tells me how much I've exercised, and it gives me my heart rate. It gives me information about my sleep. Well, I care. It's good data.
You're always measuring something. It
yeah.
drives me nuts.
That's what I do. I measure things. That's me.
Why don't you just talk to me? Actually talk to me.
Okay, let's just track what's happening here. First of all, they're sitting, they're having a conversation like a normal couple, and his iWatch pings, and she gets frustrated over it. Now, she makes a comment about what's happening with her. The iWatch is pinging and it's driving me crazy. Now she's irritated. The iWatch is important to him. He got triggered by that and he began to become defensive. He began to relate to her why the iWatch is important, what it does. And what is interesting here is that she goes off on a tangent because she feels that he's not listening to her. She's frustrated, and what she really needs, and I need you to understand that what she really needs is to connect with him. She wants to have a conversation with him. She wants to be uninterrupted by anything, especially the iWatch. And rather than dipping into her need, she's speaking out of her frustration. So number one thing that I want to share with you, many people, when they're frustrated, they speak out of the frustration, and sometimes it is counterproductive. If you calm yourself down, just regulate your emotions for a little while, take a deep breath and say to yourself what it is that I really need here. Her need was to connect with him and have a great conversation. However, she started by attacking something that was very important to him, which is the watch. And he felt triggered and defended that position. And because he defended that position, she is now trying to get him to listen to her need by attacking and criticizing him. And that's what we call kitchen sinking. So she started with one thing and now she's piling on other things, and she's criticizing not just the watch, she's criticizing him and what he does, which causes him to get even more flooded. And listen to what he's trying to do now.
He actually talk to me.
Stop this already.
Measuring.
Enough. Just be quiet.
I don't want to be quiet. This is driving me crazy. It's wrecking our relationship.
Yeah. Notice what is happening now. He's getting flooded, and we'll speak about flooding a little bit more. And she is attacking not just him, she's blaming him for ruining the relationship. And what it is that she wants? She wants a great relationship. She wants to be able to connect with him and have a wonderful time together. And that's her need. But yet, she's accusing him and the watch of wrecking the relationship. She's shaming him. He gets even more flooded. He can't handle it anymore. And he listen to exactly what he says, which is counterproductive.
Enough. Just be quiet.
I don't want to be quiet. This is driving me crazy. It's wrecking our relationship. And it's your fault.
Heck with your relationship.
She needs a great relationship, but she is triggering him and ruining the relationship.
It's your fault.
Heck with your relationship.
It's your fault. So now, this is the worst thing that she could probably have said. And he's so frustrated, so flooded, he just wants out of it, out of there. He gets up, to heck with the relationship. He doesn't even want to have anything to do with the relationship. Okay, now they're going through the scene again, but she starts on the wrong foot.
John, your dumb iWatch is driving me crazy. It's binging, it's
I need that iWatch. It tells me how much I've exercised.
She starts by saying, you're dumb. In fact, the first time, she actually didn't use that term dumb. Your dumb iWatch is driving me crazy. That is a massive trigger. We have to be very careful about using terms that will trigger and put our spouses or the other person on the defensive, get their hackles up and, putting them in a position where they're ready to defend themselves and even counterattack you.
John, your dumb iWatch is driving me crazy. It's binging, it's
I need that iWatch. It tells me how much I've exercised. It gives me heart rate information.
Why do you have to measure everything?
I stop because...
Okay, so again, he's going back on the defense mood. And that's one of the things that is totally one of the very, what he calls it the four horsemen of the apocalypse. It's criticism, complaints, defensiveness, stonewalling, and contempt. That's five. One of them isn't there. But he's defending his position, which is not really good for relationship.
Why do you have to measure everything?
I stop.
Okay, the second interjection there when she came back, why do you have to measure everything? So he's defending the iWatch, and I think that is totally beside the point, but I like the question that she asked, why do you have to measure everything? That is easier, but he's still flooded, and what he's asking for, which is very good and very important, is to have a break, because if they continue along the trajectory, the flooding, the conversation, the argument, the fight will escalate, they will explode, they probably would say and do things that they shouldn't say and do. So he's asking for a timeout. He's asking to just pause so that he could regulate his emotions. He can bring himself back down to calm, that to a position where he could have a conversation without shouting, arguing, and fighting.
Why do you have to measure everything?
I stop because I'm starting to get flooded. I can feel my heart rate going up and I'm feeling defensive. I really want to take a break.
Yeah.
Give me a half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, I need to really calm down and breathe.
Are you going to just be thinking of negative things to say to me?
No, I'm just going to take off my iWatch and be quiet for half an hour. And I'll be back. Okay.
I'll take it too. I think I'll go read a book.
I'll be flooded.
Okay, so he's actually identifying what is happening to him. He knows within himself that there are uncomfortable feelings. His heart rate is going up. He is feeling more and more upset. So he's asking her, look, please, just give me a chance so that I could regulate my emotions, get my heart rate down, come back to a place where I could listen to you in a calm manner.
Why do you have to measure everything?
I stop because I'm starting to get flooded. I can feel my heart rate going up and I'm feeling defensive. I really want to take a break.
Yeah.
Give me a half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, I need to really calm down and breathe.
Are you going to just be thinking of negative things to say to me?
No, I'm just going to take off my iWatch and be quiet for half an hour. And I'll be back. Okay.
I'll take it too. I think I'll go read a book.
So he's asking for it nicely. I really want to take a break. Can we take a break? Now, this is something that she could have done And that would have stemmed this whole big fight and also get her what she wanted. She could have said from the beginning, you know, John, I really want to spend some time with you. However, when your iWatch goes off and pings, it distracts me, it even frustrates me. What can we do about it? And that would be asking nicely. Ladies and gentlemen, if I could give you one advice, if you need something, ask nicely for it. More than, I guarantee you, up to 95% of the time, you probably will get what you ask for if you ask nicely. However, many of us feel very vulnerable, and rather than asking for what we need, we have a go at our spouse. One lady told me once, she works in an office, and on that particular day, one of her colleagues got flowers. I don't know if it was from a husband or an admirer or a boyfriend, and everybody was so happy for her. And when she went home, her husband was already home, sitting watching television, and she went up to him and hit him one clip behind his ears and said to him, "You never bring me any flowers." Well, you know that the evening didn't go very well. What was her need? She needed attention. She needed to feel needed. She wanted to feel that she mattered. She wanted to feel loved. She wanted some signs of that. And in her frustration, she did something that was totally counterproductive to what she wants, because ultimately it fractured the relationship rather than bringing the harmony and love.
I really want to take a break.
Yeah.
Give me a half an hour.
Half an hour.
Yeah, I need to really calm down and breathe.
Are you going to just be thinking of negative things to say to me?
I'm just going to take off my iWatch and be quiet for half an hour. And I'll be back. Okay.
I'll take it too. I think I'll go read a book.
Okay.
You notice here how the conversation has actually calmed down, and they're talking to each other. They're actually listening to each other, and their voices are low rather than high-pitched and having a go at each other.
Yes.
Interestingly, he's now suggesting a solution that wasn't there before. He's going to go away, calm down, take off his iWatch, and that iWatch, which was a distracting feature, would now allow, once he's taken it off, and he comes back, will allow them to have a conversation, a connecting conversation, a calm conversation, a bonding conversation, which will bring the relationship up to a more intimate level.
Okay.
So what we just demonstrated was what we call flooding. I was really criticizing John. And if we had a magic machine that could look inside his body, his heart rate was climbing until it was over 100 beats a minute. And when that happens, what happens in the body?
We secrete cortisol and adrenaline, our two stress hormones. And what happens is we really can't think very clearly. And we feel defensive. We feel like running away.
So if you don't take a break, or you don't let your partner take a break, what ends up happening is the quarrel gets louder and louder and just kind of escalates to the ceiling. So what you need to do is say stop, and then both of you stop the conversation. And one of you says, let's take a break. For how long? When are you going to come back? It's really important to say that part so your partner doesn't feel rejected.
Okay, so let me just make a point here, that men flood far more quickly than women. And she said something here, if we had a magic machine that could see inside the body, and many women don't actually and can't actually see that. We can't see the flooding happening, but the men could feel it. They could feel a tightness in their stomach. They could feel their heartbeat pumping faster and faster. They could feel the tension. And sometimes if you look at them, you will see the veins in their neck becoming more distinct. You could probably even see them clutching their hands And that's a very dangerous signal, because what is happening now, he is actually gearing up to attack. The body has become so defensive, and they're seeing the other person as an enemy who's attacking them. They're not seeing their wives that they got married to as a lovely, beautiful, wonderful, sensitive, feminine person. That at that moment, she becomes an enemy to defend himself against. And if she continues to attack him, he will counterattack. And usually, this is where he may even lash out physically. I think it's important also to say why you want to stop. Because if you don't stop, both of you may say and do things that you regret later, that may be very harmful to the relationship and to both of you. So it's important that we say, look, I don't want to say something that I'll regret. I just need to calm down and cool out. I need to take a break. That's very important, because many people, when they become so angry, they lose it. I don't know if you've heard about crimes of passion. Some people would actually say, you don't want to see me angry. You don't want to see that part of me, because they know when they get in that frame or phase that they become so terrifying that they themselves are afraid of what would happen if they reach and escalate to that point. And that is what flooding does.
When are you going to come back?
Yes, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, the number one killer. And what is important, they actually haven't identified what the number one killer is. They have spoken about it, they have acted it out, but they haven't actually verbalized it. The number one killer, based on this short clip, is actually flooding. Now, there are other things that triggers the flooding. That is criticism, defensiveness, shaming, blaming. And so what we need to do to avoid all of that is to identify within ourselves what it is that we really need. And if your partner is coming to you with those, you probably need to see, why is it that he or she is behaving that way? Look beyond the behavior. Look beyond the words. Listen to the feelings and try to identify, what does this person, he or she, actually need from me? Couple of points is to ask, you sound very angry and you sound upset. Is there anything that I can do to make you feel better? Or what can I do to make you, or what can I do to change the situation? What can I do at this point in time that would help you to feel much better? And that person would therefore be able to calibrate or recalibrate and figure out, what it is that I want from you right now. What can be done that would make me feel much better? If John had asked that question, she would probably say, I wish that we could just have an uninterrupted talk or conversation, because it's important for us. And the pinging actually distracts me. So there you go. If you're caught in a situation where you're constantly arguing, constantly triggered by or they seem to be always triggered by you, and you want some support and help, feel free to get in touch with me. Talk soon.